let's get straight into it. So I'm taking a look at the newly released G9 2026 edition, and I'm just going to do a quick walk around here. Spoiler alert, this is not a technical review, it's just a quick walk around of the features and the aesthetics. So starting from the top, you can see on the windshield there are some cameras for the rain sensing wipers and safety features. And if you look where my finger is pointing, the connection between the windshield and the top panel is very almost seamless. It looks really nice, very smooth finish there. I like that. And we got your wipers up there. And if you look at the bonnet, it's a flat bonnet and only creases here on the left and slopes down. And there's this nice badging here in this gray color. And if you go down here, we can see the daytime running lights running all the way from the left all the way to the right, kind of like what Lishan has. But if you look closely, it has some nice detailing in there as well. So that looks really cool. And then we come down to the lighting. So the main headlamps are just below the daytime running lights, and they got this extra daytime running lights in there, and you got the headlamps in there on these two beams. And then there's a smaller one here for fog lights, that kind of thing. There's this nice design panel here. You got your proximity sensors up there, and as you go below, you have this piano black, which continues as the grille. And if you look down there, you can see there is a radiator in there. And then we come down here and you have another white panel. So, and then you got another camera here sitting right above the number plate placement area. Overall, a really nice design. So if I just step back, we can see the full scale of the front. Let's move on to the side. So you can see the proximity sensors come all the way to the side as well. And this one is sporting some Michelin Pilot Sport EV tires, coming in 255/45 rim 21 tires, looking really nice, sitting on this spoke to rims here. This is a signature design of XPeng. It's got air suspension. You can see your suspension going on there. If the camera will do justice, it's kind of dark here. And then here you get a carpet material to help with sound deadening. And if we come up here, let's just step back a little bit. It's got this really nice boxy but bold design to it. And on the side you got this very nice panel here, and integrated nicely in there is a camera. And if we go down here, we can see camera galore. So there's a camera here and another camera there. And then there is the blue illumination. So that's your turn signal light, but it also doubles as an indicator for your autonomous driving, which is indicated by this blue lighting, which is an industry standard here in China. And if I just step back, we can see almost the full scale of the car. Now let's go around before we come to the interior, and we can see our door handles here. The body is white paint, but to prevent it from looking too bulky, they got this nice black trim here stretching from the front all the way to the back. And then you get a tiny aluminum trim here, and then it continues all the way down. You can see the door curves all the way to beneath the car. So if I open the door, you can see how curved it looks, and it's really nicely done. Now if you look up there, you can see the top part is all blacked out, and it's blacked out from factory, so you don't have to do it aftermarket. Let's go on to the rear. So the rear tires are the same as the front, 21-inch wheels, and you can see your air suspension in there as well. Now we come on to the side, and you get your brake light starting from here and going all the way to the other side. On the rear, this is how it will look. The car is actually lowered now because it has air suspension, so I can see the top. It's got some rails there as well. I'm not sure if you can mount weight on these rails, but if it's there, I'm sure it's for that purpose. You got a brake light bar here, and obviously you got your wiper hiding in there. The window is blacked out from factory as well, and the integration, the mixture of the black and the white and the gray XPeng badging spelled out really makes it look really nice. And you can see the detail in the lighting here. I'm not going to describe it, just take a look at what it looks. Looks really nice. And then you come down here, you have your XPeng here in Chinese characters. In China it's XPeng, but in English it we call XPeng. And then on the right hand side you get G9 Ultra, I believe that's the ultimate. And then down here you got a camera here for safety and for reverse. And then you got a button here to press to open the boot. And if you got a number plate placement area, and if we go down, you got another piano black material integrated in that. The bottom proximity sensors and the one on the edges are sitting on the white part. So the mixture of the colors here makes it look really cool. And if we look down there, it's got really good clearance as well. Let's go on to the right hand side. So the right hand side is basically similar or the same as the left side, with the only difference is you're going to have the charging system here. Obviously you can't see the lid here because it's a showroom car, but a car that you purchase is going to have the cover, so there are no cause for alarm there. So let's go in and take a look at the interior starting from the boot. So to open the boot, I like how they've done this. You just press that, you don't have to put your hand in anywhere and soil them. And when it opens, the boot lid itself is plastic and it's very straightforward. You just have one button for pressing to shut the boot. And at this height, it's too low for me at 183 centimeters tall. But since you have air suspension, you can raise it to your desired height. Automatic tailgate. And if we look in here, there's a reasonable amount of size here for any family. It's a 5-seater, so the rear has more than enough room for family trips. And if you look inside, the interior of the boot is all lined with carpet all the way up to here before you hit some plastics, and after the plastics you get Alcantara on the top part. Very usable space, I would say. Now if we look at the left side, you got boot lighting, and on the right side you get another light as well, so it's going to light up really brightly. You got a speaker grill here integrated on the side, and then you got a small packet here with side netting. You got a 12-volt socket, 180 watt maximum, and then you got your buttons here for pushing your seats, rear seats up and down, and then raising the suspension of the car. And then here you have some tie down hooks, very nice feeling aluminum. And if we look down here, there is a little bit more room, but it's not recessed that deep, so you can put bits and pieces there, but you not going to exactly fit a suitcase or a briefcase in here, but documents, bags, little bags, flat items will fit in there. Unlike other cars, they haven't really created a place to place your safety triangle and reflectors. As you can see, it has a Velcro, so you can just stick it there and it doesn't move, and you can just replace this and press this to shut the boot. So very straightforward, but it has a touch of modernity to it. Now let's take a look at the rear space. So if I open the door, as you can see, frameless doors, but the windows are not double glazed, but they are thick enough, so I'm sure it's going to do a good job with sound deadening. And as you can see, there's a very good side padding here, so you got all these paddings here to prevent noise from getting in your car. And then we look at the door itself. If you look at the configuration of the door, it has leather on top here. I'm not sure if it's leather red, but feels soft to touch. You got your speaker grill here. You got your physical door handle lever. I like that. And then you got your buttons here for reclining the seats. This one for activating the heated seats and ventilated seats. These ones for recline, and then this one for raising and lowering your window. Very straightforward, nicely indicated on it. Maybe the phone camera is not doing justice. And then you have this area to hold to shut the door. And if we go down here, you got another speaker grill here surrounded by this nice aluminum trim. And then you have an area here for cup bottle holders and things like that. And down here has the outer cover has soft feeling to it, and the inside is not lined with felt, but if the plastic itself feels nice, so I'm sure things will not be annoyingly rattling about. And if you look at the entry area, the plastic area here for entry is quite wide, so even kids are going to be able to step in very nicely and easily. we take a look at the seating. So the seat design is really nice. Got some thick padding everywhere, an aluminum trim right below the headrest in the neck area, perforated seats, beautiful design, beautiful stitching, and feels firm as well. Nice bolsters on the sides. You can recline the seats, pockets on the rear of the seat. So I like this car for the reason that they got conventional designs, but they're done in a very luxurious way. And then you got your center backrest for the center seat, but and it's so. But when you pull it down, you got, pardon me, it's quite dark in here. It's getting dark, and you got another storage area here when you lift this, and it's lined with felt as well, so you can drop your phone and other things there. But that's about it. And if you don't need it, you just put it down and then you push it back. And if I sit in the back here, this is what I'm seeing. It's got a roof, a panoramic sunroof from the front all the way to the back, and is blacked out from factory. So it's going to help with reducing the heat during hot days. But like many of these cars that are designed in this way, if you feel you want to cover it up, there will be an accessory that you can buy and just insert it in the corners, and then you'll have some more privacy to prevent the sun from hitting you. So the top part from here all the way to the bottom is all plastic, but from here all the way up is all Alcantara. Airbag indicators everywhere. You got a grab handle for every passenger except the driver, and then you got your light in here. I like that it's not touch sensitive. There's a button on the side of the light, so you just press it and it turns on and off. You got 2 speaker grills here, one here, one there. Pardon me, it's kind of dark in here, but if you sit here, this is what you see. And if I shut the door, you can see some ambient lighting. So it's subtle, but you can still see it, and it's not overdone. It's just the right amount, peeking from different areas. So on the whole, really nice. Now, seating position, when I'm sat here, I got a lot of headroom with my height of 183 centimeters. I'll say I have 2 fist size to the panoramic roof, so that's cool. And my leg, I still have about, with the seat reclined and my leg stretched out, reaching under the driver's seat, I still have between my knee and the driver's seat about more than enough space, as you can see. And I've positioned the driver's seat to my driving position, so no matter how tall a driver is, you're still going to have a comfortable seat in the back. And if we look down here, we got, it's really dark in here, pardon me, but down there you got some charging ports there, and then you got conventional style air vents here. So let's move on to the front and see what it has to offer. So let's take a look at the front passenger seat, and if you look here on the mirror, you can see the blind spot monitoring indicator there. The door configuration design is very similar, but obviously the front passenger just has one button for raising and lowering the windows, and you can see how they go up relatively fast as well. And if we look here, the passenger has a lot more controls than the rear passenger. So you can see you got cowl support, as you could see there. So lots of configuration, lumbar support, recline, thigh support, that kind of thing, and very nice both side bolsters as well on for both your thighs and your back. Now let me just sit in the seat. Now if I sit here, this is what the front passenger is going to be. The seats feel really comfortable, and you can see I still have more than enough room, and I can lower the seat further. So with seating, I think this car is very comfortable and will be for many passengers of different sizes. Now if we look at below here, we have a very nice size and lined with felt as well, glove box here, and very easy to operate. There's a dedicated button just like a conventional car, but it goes quite deep and it's quite flat and spacious. The felt feels really good as well, going to help with sound deadening. And then we have some ambient lighting right above it, stretching all the way to the steering area. You got your vents here, but the front vents are activated or they are controlled on the screen. You don't have a physical button there. You got your A pillar, some ventilation vents there, and then you get your speakers recessed into the dash, so they'll only light up when you turn on the car, which is really cool. Now the passenger has a dedicated screen. It's one full panel, but the passenger has a dedicated screen right in front of the passenger seat, so you're gonna be able to have your own entertainment. And there's a nice feature. If I move the phone to the driver's side, you can see that you can't see what is being displayed here, kind of like what Samsung did with their newly released S26 Ultra. Once you, if you're not viewing it at a straight angle, you're viewing it from the side, then you can see. This is a very nice feature to help with safety, so the driver won't be tempted to watch what the passenger is watching. And I like the whole design. It looks really nice. You got a speaker grill right above here, and then you got a grab handle here. You got your sun visor, and then you got your vanity mirror, very, very big as well, with lights on both sides. So you just push it to lock, and the dash itself is flat. And if you look here, you got a nice grill there. And because of that design, it's very easy to see out. You can actually even see the bonnet. So driving this car is going to be very easy. You can see where your edges are, especially for inexperienced drivers. And so on the side, with a center storage area, the passenger can open as well. So it opens two ways. So from the driver's side, which is not a new feature, but what I like about it is it's got very nice padding here, and it's just the right height for anyone to lay their hands as a handrest. You got conventional style rounded cup holders, and I like that they are deep, not very deep. They're just the right amount of depth. And if you have your coffee, your cups, it's not very big, but I think standard cups are going to fit in there, and bottles for sure. They also got these grips to stop things from moving about. You got two wireless charging pads. I'm not sure what they are, but these days they are about 50 watts in China, so nothing really strange there. Either way, it's going to charge really fast. And then down here, you got under the center console, you have another open area here. You got a type A charging port, a type C charging port, a 12-volt socket, another 12-volt socket, and it's all lined with felt. Pardon me again, it's dark in here. I can't do much about it because I got all the lighting on, but still. So that is it for the front passenger seat. Let's move on to the driver's seat. Let me just show you, there are soft closed doors as well. So if I just shut it, it's going to suck it in. Let me do it again so you can see it better. Nice feature. To get in the driver's seat, same business here. You just door configuration similar, and you have all the 4 buttons to control the. It's interesting that the rear doors have more buttons for the seat controls and stuff like that, and the driver has a conventional ones and a door lock here, but that's basically what the driver needs. You can control other functions on the screen, and then you have obviously controls for the seats, but you don't have the call support because the driver usually doesn't have that. Now if I just sit in the driver's seat, this is what I'm greeted with. I quite like the designs of XPeng's steering wheels. I like how flat it is, and you're not going to mistakenly hit stuff. It's just a really nice design. And the steering wheel itself is kind of almost rounded, but a little bit flattened on the bottom to give your feet some extra space. And you just get 2 rotors here to control various functions, volume, that kind of thing. Forward, next, back, return, mute, star, I believe, for setting your favorites, voice activation, forward, back, that kind of thing. But all really nice in this 2-tone color. We'll come back to that area. Let me look up here. So you got your interior lighting. So unlike the rear, the front interior lighting are touch sensitive. You got a hazard button here, an SOS button here, and then you got a camera here as well to monitor what's going on in the car. There's another sensor here, but it's interesting that the camera, you can shut it, and I like that it's just a kind of like a swipe. You just move it and it works just like a swipe. It's not one of those that have resistance, but it's not going to rattle when you're moving. When I hit it, it doesn't rattle, but yeah, you just slide it to shut it or open it. So that's a really neat feature. And then you get your interior rear view mirror. So you can press that button to see the feed from the camera on the rear, and you can press it to also turn it into a mirror function. The reason that is done is when you do this, you can see the feed from the traffic behind you, and but when that is activated, you can see what's happening inside the car. So to see what's inside the car, you just push that and it turns into a mirror, so you can see what's happening in the rear of the car, in the rear seat. Most cars will put it right here, but this one has been put on top there, but it's actually quite easy to reach and toggle. There's another sensor here to monitor the tiredness level of the driver, to notify you when you need to rest and all that. And we can see some information here: AI G9 5C charging, AI electric charging, and so 10 minutes will give you 450 kilometers of range. That's if you are at the right charger. And then we come up here, you can see this napper here, so it's telling us that there's a lot of napper material going on here, napper leather. And continuing on the screen that I showed you earlier, so this is the main infotainment, the information screen, and that is an entertainment screen, and you can see how crisp it is. I've always liked XPeng's entertainment screens. They're not the clearest I've seen, but they're just the right amount, not too close, not too far, and they feed your eyes the information with just the right amount of pixels and brightness. So that's really nice. And it's not one of those huge ones, but you can still see everything clearly. You can see my palm, even my fingers even overlap when I stretch them, but it's very clear enough. And you can see all your information that you need. So you got home here, you got your temperature setting. You can see how nice it pops up. You can see your car settings. You can do all that here. You got a 360 view camera. Even in this showroom that is going dark, you can see how clear it is. You got your window heating function here. You got some extra settings here. You got some apps here, like quick widgets will pop up here. You got your navigation here. Obviously, you can increase the size, and then you got this one to populate your downloaded apps or preloaded apps, and then climate control for the passenger. Up here you got your connectivity, Bluetooth, network, battery information, profile, that kind of thing. It's all up there. And then we come back to the steering area. Right behind the steering, you got this car doesn't come with HUD, but right behind the steering wheel there's another dedicated screen to the driver. So yeah, I actually prefer this. Sometimes HUDs can be tricky, but this one is also kind of conventional but modernized. So you have a dedicated screen for the driver to provide all the quick information that the driver needs, and it's right in the line of sight of the driver. So even though you take your eye off the road, you still are looking forward. So it's not going to be a problem for safety. I believe it will probably just quick information, your speed of travel and things like that. You got your turn signals here, which also indicate as your wipers and your lighting. And then you got your gear lever here, press to park. So overall, a really nice design of this new XPeng G9. There is not that much difference. The difference between the new one and the old one are not that massive, but there's just little bits and pieces of nice touches to the design here, as I can see. And I love this two-tone. If I was buying this car today, I think this is I've not seen the other colors, but this is the color that I'll go for. The combination of this grayish and sort of light brownish material makes it look really nice. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm truly grateful. If you found value in this video, do me a favor, smash the subscribe button so we can grow this channel together. Till I see you in the next video guys, ride legal, ride safe always. Peace, and I'm out.